Hello, and welcome to this tutorial on how to create destructible physics-based tilesets. In this tutorial, I will showcase how I've achieved the result that you can see on screen right now in my game Mech Team. Let's get started. For this to work, you will need a physics object of any kind that can report collisions and a TileMapLayer. This system will work in the following way. First, we have the bullet hit the TileMapLayer. Then, we spawn in a rigid body 2D at the location of the collision. This object will be the flying debris that will give us the illusion of destruction. Then we have the TileMapLayer replace the tile that was hit with an empty tile. And finally, we delete the debris after a certain time. So, welcome to the tutorial part of the tutorial. First, let's quickly create our bullet. Create a physics body 2D object. Give it a sprite and a collision shape. Then, give the bullet object this code. This is a simple bullet script, nothing fancy. We move the bullet forwards in the physics process. In the onBodyEntered function, we make it so that if any body hit by this bullet can take damage, it receives the data of the collision between the bullet and body and then data about the knockback force. The collision data will be used to determine in which direction the debris will fly away in, and the knockback force determines how fast it will do so. Now that we've created our bullet, we have to create a TileMapLayer. The TileMapLayer has to have a tileset which has collisions enabled. So we give the TileMapLayer a tileset, then we give the tileset a physics layer. We paint the physics colliders on top of our tileset, and we are good to go. This TileMapLayer must have the following script. So, what does this TileMapLayer do? First, it checks if the collision that the bullet gives the tilemap is valid. Second, it pushes the point of the collision slightly into the tile that was hit. We do this because the point of collision is usually somewhere slightly outside of the tile that is hit. We want it to be inside of the tile that is hit. We will call this the biased position. We take this biased position and then convert it into a local position. We take the local position and then convert that into a tilemap position. We call this variable collided tile position. These four operations give us the exact coordinates of the tile that has been hit by the bullet. Now we have to destroy that tile, but first we must record in a variable what the tile looks like. We will call this variable the collided tile atlas. We will use this variable later when we spawn in a debris object, so that our debris can look the same as the destroyed tile, completing the illusion of an actual breakable tileset. And this last line here simply destroys the tile that has been hit by making it an empty tile. Now, this itself can be the entire breakable tile system, but it can look a bit better with some more effort. Now it's time for us to create our debris object. This object has the following structure. Create a rigid body 2D. Call it debris or something. Give it a collision shape 2D which has the same size as one singular tile, So we have been using 16 by 16 for now. We will give it the size of 16 by 16, and then we will move it a little bit down and to the right so that the collision box matches up with the actual tile. Now that we have done this, we create a child tilemap layer which has the same tile set as our other tilemap layer. We also create a little timer. This timer will be used to delete the object after a certain time passes, so that our scene doesn't become too cluttered with random stuff. Now that our debris structure is ready, we give it the following script. So, what does the script do? Well, nothing much really. The function onBodyEntered makes it so that when our debris hits an object, like the floor, it starts its internal timer, and when the time on the timer runs out, in the onTimeout function we just do Q3, which destroys our debris. The setSprite function will be used to set the 00 tile of the debris tilemap to have the same tile atlas as the tile that has been destroyed, making both tiles look the same. Now, we have to go back to our tilemap layer and then add some stuff to the take damage function. Now, previously we had this, and now we need to add the actual code that will spawn the debris at the position of our destroyed tile. So add the following code. Now, what does this code do? First, we instantiate a debris instance. Then we add a debris instance child to our main node. Then we set the global position of the debris to be the same as the global position of our collision. And after that we use the setSprite function that we have just written to set the tile 00 of our debris to be the same as the destroyed tile. Now, we will use the collision data that the bullet has given the tilemap layer to actually make the debris be knocked back by the quote-unquote explosion. To do this, we must calculate the impact direction. The impact direction is simply the biased position minus the position of the collision. Then, when we actually calculate this, we just apply an impulse in that direction, and the power of the impulse is going to be the knockback force. Now, you can skip this next part, but I like adding it because it makes the flying away animation, if you want to say it like that, a little flashier. So, I also like adding an impulse that pushes the debris a bit more upwards, and then I give it some basic torque so that it spins in some direction. It looks more chaotic that way. And yeah, that's basically it. Our debris is done. So, that was the tutorial. I hope it was helpful to you. A repo with this entire example Godot project is in the description. If you have any questions or comments, you can put them below. I'll try to respond as soon as possible. Thank you for watching.